Hi, I'm David Council from Inferno Marketing and Design, and welcome to another Insider Marketing Update. Now in a moment, we're going to talk about the changes to the privacy legislation that will affect you and your business. Before we do that, let me just remind you, if you know someone that could use our help with some advertising or marketing, we'd love to talk to them. So if you can put them in touch with us, or us in touch with them, we'd be very happy to send you a lovely bottle of Tasmanian wine just to say thank you. There's no obligation. We're not going to put the hard words on them. In fact, we love talking to people and giving them free information about advertising and marketing that will help them with their business. So if you do know someone, then please pass our details on to them or their details onto us and we can have a chat. Okay, so let's talk about the new changes to privacy. Now, mostly this is going to affect your business online as well as offline. Yeah, this is right across the board. Here's the deal. If you collect information on your website or in your business, you need to disclose a whole heap of information to the person that you're collecting that information from. For example, normally you would have to be compliant with the anti-spam legislation. That means that when they give you the information, you've double opted them in. So you've asked them twice that they want to actually be on your database, and you've told them what it is that you're going to do with that information. Yes, I'm going to send you marketing information, or yes, I'm going to sell this information on to someone else. However, the changes in the privacy legislation affect far more than what we used to just have to deal with the anti-spam legislation. Firstly, you've got to make sure that you've got a privacy policy. Now, it's got to be easily accessible. So make sure you've got one in-store as well as on your website. And that privacy policy really has to spell out what it is that you're doing with that information. After all, there's a number of ways that you do collect information. For example, car dealers, when they're filling out a contract, they collect information as part of that paperwork. If you have someone fill in a form on your website, whether it's just a contact us form or you're actually got them opting into something that you're going to use for marketing, there's a number of different ways that you could be using that information, so you've got to tell them. You know, if you're just using it from a contact us form, you'd say, if you enter information in via the contact us form, then we will only be using it in relation to the inquiry that you've made, and no data will be kept. However, if you are keeping that data, you need to be upfront with it. So you must make sure that your privacy policy spells all of that out. That's very, very important. Number two, don't collect unnecessary information. If you're not going to use it, and you've got no real, thought that perhaps somewhere down the track that you will use it, then don't collect it. It's useless information, and you're also having to disclaim it in your privacy policy. So if you're not going to use it, don't collect it. The most important things to collect, obviously, are the person's name, their email address, their phone number, and even just some basic location addresses, like what suburb are they from or what postcode are they from. They're the sort of things that you would normally need to know, especially if you're going to use this information from a marketing point of view. The fourth thing to consider is, where are you storing the data? Now, this is really very important. Most people use a third-party company to collect the data, and they then store that information. Is it being stored here inside Australia? Is it being stored in New Zealand, in Singapore, in the United States? These things are all very important because different countries obviously have different legislation, and that different legislation treats the privacy of that information far more liberally in some countries than it is in others. So you've got to disclose where that information is being stored. And the final thing to consider with the privacy information is making sure you let your customers know that there's been a change. It's no secret. I mean, it's available to anyone. So use it as a positive. Let them know that you're updating the way that you deal with business and their data so that you're being totally upfront. Don't try and hide it. If you're trying to hide it, then people will suspect that you're doing the wrong thing. Anyway, that's the latest information when it comes to privacy. I've attached to this post some information from the government website which really spells it out in detail for those of you who want to go into it in more detail. However, if you'd like to talk to us about it, we'd be happy to have a chat with you about the changing nature of privacy and how it affects your business. You can feel free to give us a call at 0362 344 588 or send an email through to media@infernopromotions.com.au. Until next time, I'm David Council. I look forward to talking to you about your marketing and your business in the very near future.